Let's take those two characters we learned before, 说 and 明, and put them together to create a word, 说明. We talked about how 说 means speak, and 明 means either bright or clear. Well, if I'm speaking, 说, until something becomes clear, 明, what am I doing? I'm explaining something. So let's use 说明 to explain, to come up with an idea of the different mnemonic techniques we could use to put this into our long-term memory really quickly. The first one is obvious, the characters themselves. Most Chinese words, the characters give a really good idea of what it means if you know them. Now, of course, again, argument for learning characters. If you don't know the characters, that's not so easy. But if you do know them, sometimes that's all you need. And when that happens, great, you'll remember it. It's awesome. Now, if looking at the two characters alone doesn't make the meaning of the word clear to you, you could then look at the pronunciation and how does it sound. So that's the next one, sound. 说明, 说明. Well, that sort of sounds like swimming. Maybe if you had a sort of heavy Scottish accent, swimming, Sean Connery style. Well, what does that make you think of when you think of swimming? Do you think of an instructor? Maybe the instructor happens to be Scottish, unlikely, but hey, maybe you think of a swimming instructor. Well, a swimming instructor explaining to you your technique is, of course, a connection you can make very easily, and that relates to the third one, which is your memories. If you have an actual memory related to any of these particular words that you're learning, bring it to mind. Again, Google your brain quickly and find it in there, because your real memories or memories of a scene from a movie or a book are the exact thing you need to learn. You need to connect the new fact to something you already know, and sort of by definition, if you still remember something, there's a neural cluster in your brain that's firing. So take the opportunity to sort of weld in that new information as the electricity is shooting between neurons. Next, images. Images is huge. It's hugely helpful, and there's a bunch of research that shows this. You know, we connect to images much more quickly than we do to words. And I mean, this all makes sense because everything that I was telling you before about the evolution of our visual cortex, it relates absolutely the same way to a picture or an image that you see around the time of learning the word. And if you put that into, say, a flashcard, then you'll remember it even more quickly. Now, whether it's the characters themselves, the sound, and the connections that makes you think of, the lived experiences you've had that you can bring to mind, or just an image you find on a Google image search, all of these either are a direct connection to the definition of the word, or they're a link that helps you get there. So, you know, maybe you hear swimming, and that makes you think of Sean Connery as a swimming instructor, and that's just sort of a made-up thing, but it's funny to you, so you got there by going, 说明 sounds like swimming, but it sort of sounds like with a Scottish accent, so I think of Sean Connery. It's a link. It's several links down the road, but it works. The ancient Greeks were the ones who came up with this, so it's no surprise that it's actually still effective today. Now, all of these techniques are incredibly effective at helping you remember something for the longest possible period of time after you initially learn it.